Hey,
Hi,
how are you?
my name is Eric. How are you doing?
Great,
Good.
Eric. How are you?
Excellent. Thank you both so much for taking some time to talk about Twinless today. I love this movie. I saw it at Sundance and then rewatched it last week, and
Thank you
it's
so much.
still one of the best things I've seen this year. Just
Oh, thank
Thank
you.
you.
incredible.
Wow.
James, one of the things I love the most about this is it takes the ideas of a traditional rom-com like unrequited crushes and a big central lie, and it puts it somewhere different than we've seen before. Did you have rom-coms in mind when you started thinking of this as a feature?
Hmm. I do feel like being such a fan of the romantic comedy genre, the structure and story beats are sort of ingrained in my DNA. Uh, but I also sort of pull influences from everything I watch, and I try to watch everything. So I guess, yeah, it's an amalgamation of different tones and genres, but absolutely, I if this was if you had to pick one, I mean, I do feel like I typically describe it as a dark comedy, but if it was slotted in as a romantic comedy, which also is a more commercial genre,
Hey,
then that would be fine by me.
Yeah,
please
I
goes
would
either.
I would agree. Was there a specific kernel that that bore Twinless as a story?
Hmm.
Hmm.
I'm curious to know this.
It was initially just learning about the concept of a twin bereavement support group, which I found to be such an awful, specifically profound sort of loss because it's a loss of self. And it just, if I think about it, it is to me like the saddest thing that I've ever heard. I have always been so interested in twins. I grew up loving Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen and Sister Sister, and I wanted an identical twin so badly. I thought it would fix all of my problems. And then when I dated an identical twin in my early 20s, it sort of resurfaced after we broke up. All those thoughts and feelings, and I thought it would be such a rife concept to explore these themes of identity and yeah.
There was such I loved the idea of you going to this support group because it weirdly reminded me of Fight Club when he goes to all of those groups to sort of just also find a connection in a very lonely place. I thought there was something really kind of interesting to spark there. What was your gut feeling of each other when you first met, and when did you know you clicked for this?
My gut feeling was you were really, really smart, and you maybe think that I thought that I wasn't. But then you said something to me that I'll never forget that I think corrected that in my head and gave me a little more like confidence around you was that around you. We met over Zoom. Uh, but he said something to me that A made me feel nice, B, not a lot of people say to me. C felt like it was really astute, like observation as a filmmaker. And
I
you
really had no
said,
idea what you're gonna
I
say.
know. Um, you said you read really intelligent on screen in terms of playing a character where you might have to play a little more of, naivety in some areas, how do you asked me about that.
Right, right. I
And
do
I thought it was
remember
a
that.
really
Yeah.
astute question. Um, and yeah, I think that kicked off like a conversation for us that flowed really well,
Mm-hmm.
and I had a lot of thoughts about as well because that was part of the excitement and challenge of playing a role like this. I thought, and yeah, to this day, I think. people, a lot of times I've been getting asked what was the most difficult part of this, and playing two people is always usually the presumption maybe, and I'm like, it was certainly the that balance of of with Roman sort of, in a shopping spree, not knowing the difference of a lemon or a lime, but also not being an unintelligent person. Should I close this?
Yeah, sorry.
Sorry, do
we
you
could
hear
a
that vacuum?
I
We had-
can't. No,
You don't hear it?
I don't.
Thanks,
Thank
JC.
There's a dog barking, so if you can't hear that, I think we're
Oh,
probably
incredible.
safe.
This interview is going to be great.
Exactly.
Sorry, now there's a mirror and we can see ourselves.
I can't see myself. I can see you. Which is like appropriate.
Dylan, I did want to say something specific. I know it's been 7 months, but I just wanted to give you such a huge congratulations on the performance win from Sundance.
Thank you so much. Really.
So well deserved. Did you think back in the days of Movie Kid 826 that you would be here today?
No, you're gonna make me cry. I'm not even kidding. No, like not at all. And also that thank you for shouting that, because that's like, I don't think I'll ever get any type of acknowledgement that means more to me than that award. Not only for this project, but they didn't have to do that, and it's like a jury of peers in this industry that I like respect. These are filmmakers and other actors, and this isn't an awards politics thing. It wasn't because I went to enough Q&As, you know what I mean? So it just felt like, I mean, I've just like, I didn't think I could feel more thrilled and shocked. Yeah, so thank you so much. It's so appreciated.
Yeah, because you weren't there to accept it
And I
either.
wasn't even there. I had to go back. I had to fly out the next day.
I also missed it because I was doing
Oh, right. Neither.
I was doing
It's how
yeah,
unexpected
yeah.
it was. No one was even
Yeah.
there.
No, it's not that I wasn't there. It's just that I was
Yeah.
doing the questions on the card
Yeah.
for the audience award.
I don't know, but to answer your question, I couldn't even describe to you how meaningful it was to get that acknowledgement, and then yeah, Movie Kid 826, again, it's really interesting, and I'm gonna bring it back to the movie here, and Roman in a way. I've been speaking a lot about sort of where I unearthed these characters from, and I talk a lot about how both of them are so a part of me, and my connection to loneliness in this film as well, and that lost feeling is all sort of wraps into this Movie Kid 826 question, funny enough. So I'm really grateful for it. My family, I was uprooted as a kid. I have that experience. That's something that James and I share. The more and more I reflect on this film and how the connectivity I felt to it when I first read it, the more relevant that experience becomes in my life. I do know what it feels like. I think a lot of people are surprised to hear this from me, but to go to school every day without a single friend, and to feel so alienated and lost and alone, and so I do have and that's an impactful experience as a kid. It really is, and I think that in a lot of ways is sort of like how I really accessed Roman, and why I feel that he lives so inside me. Um, and it's also why I started making those videos. I started, and I was alone in my room doing what I was interested in and loved, and also brought me like safety and solace and creativity, and made me feel like I had a friend, so. It's really interesting, really interesting. Thank you for that question.
Yeah, you kind of created your own twin there at having that.
Right.
Um and I'm so impressed with the dual performance and just the modulation of the physical and vocal choices that are made. But
Thank you.
To James, was there a gay scale that you wanted Dylan to play for Rocky, and inversely a straight scale for Roman that was going to hit
Yes,
the right
yeah,
balance?
yes. You said one interview.
Yeah. I fucked it.
That's fine. No, it's interesting because the gay scale was really just a shorthand for us. That
Yeah.
was a snippet of a much larger conversation where we were talking about uh I think there can be a reticence, especially in today's culture, where we can so easily admonish anybody who plays any sort of representation that doesn't immediately match and mirror their own. And I wanted to give him the permission to be a little bit more in touch with Rocky's femininity and because that's something that's just very real and authentic, and it plays such a role in gay dating and who is alpha, who is beta, what the dynamic are, what the attraction is, and also personally, like for me, like just basing on my own experience, I didn't want it to feel like an inauthentic attraction. So it was an interesting conversation to have, and uh, yeah, but also how it changes contextually because how you behave in a public setting will be very different from how you behave in like pillow conversations.
Mm.
Yeah, and again, I to your credit, just the direction of that you gave him just brought authenticity to it. It's wonderful. Um,
Thank you.
when you when you
Thank you.
have a script and a story that balances dark and light tones like it does, how do you as a writer, director, actor, and you, Dylan, as an actor, balance what's on the page? Is it do you find something that this is too dark, or do we need to make a joke to sort of lighten the mood?
Mm.
Well, I have a much, I believe that I had a much easier job in that regard, right? Because coming from my standpoint, I just needed to be, as the actor, aware of the tone and language of the film, and more so my role to that, right? So as Roman, which in large part was having Roman be not aware of that
Mm.
and playing it so honestly. And then I think it's, you have much more to talk about it with context to the not only on the ground during production, but
Right.
shaping the film in post and having those themes all sort of coalesce and have it be a cohesive, the
Right.
shifts, the emotional shifts, the comedy, the more the darker moments, have it all feel a part of one piece rather than, constantly a different movie.
Yeah. I mean, it's such an interesting and deceptively simple question with such a complicated answer
Mm,
because, on one hand, you're writing the film in three phases. You write it on the page, you write it again when you're filming it, and then you write it again when you're editing it. And so, modulating that tone, I try to A, set the tone clearly from as early in the film as possible in the opening scene. I try to hire people who have the dramatic and comedic versatility that can portray both sides of the spectrum. But it is interesting, even when I'm on set, I will say you, Dylan, as a performer, were very dialed in to the happy medium
mm,
of where this film ended up needing to find itself. I'd say if I compare your performance versus the latitude of range that myself or Aisling Franciosi as Marcy gave, I think we took more swings.
mm,
Whereas if the consistency, I would say, between takes. And so I'd say for our scenes, maybe took a little bit longer to find that tone. And I think it also was aided by the fact that so much of the humor in the film is really contextual and character focused. It's not a lot of hard jokes that make sense so much out of context.
mm,
And so at the end of the day, it's really, if I could boil it down to one thing, is just trying to find honesty in every moment.
mm.
And you hope that if it feels true, the circumstances will be funny. And that's what people will respond to
Yeah.
because I think people can sense with something is artificial.
Yeah, that was the thing that I always knew that I could lean back on was honesty, with Rome especially. I've never been so 100. You talk about modulating levels and trying things. I mean, that's such a part of acting in this medium, right? You're trying to give as many options. At the end of the day, so much of production is a guessing game in terms of tone and what you're trying to a balance you're trying to strike, right? So, but I don't know that you talk about my consistency take to take. I find it so interesting because I'm like, yeah, I actually don't ever think I've been so 1,000% certain. In a way which thank you for following me. Because it could really, only go one way. But you really saw what I was doing and supported it, and thank you so much.
Well,
But yeah,
it was good. I wouldn't have supported it if I didn't like it. We're like, oh, that's what
think
you're
one
gonna
of
do. Okay, I guess I'll concede.
I think one of the best
You'd be like, what the
examples of
fuck are you
that
doing?
is on the rooftop parking lot with the teenagers and
Yeah,
the
those little
the
fucks.
fight, and then it's scary, and it's you there's anxiety, and then it ends with, I thought Gen Z was supposed to be nice, and that's maybe the funniest joke in the whole fucking movie. It's observational and hilarious while not undercutting, and I just love that.
You telling
Thank
the little
you.
anecdote about the line?
No, we don't need to get into it.
Okay.
It's a I'm glad you like that line because we anyway, it's
There used to be a different line in the script, and it was incredible. And then for other reasons that we ended
legal
up,
reasons.
we couldn't use it. So we tried to come up with something like, even close to as good. And so appreciate you
Yes,
shouting.
that actually
Oh,
really
it's
does.
fantastic. It's wonderful. All right, I want to close with telling you that I need to know your favorite Mary-Kate and Ashley movie. I love them as well. I'm partial to any time they get to travel, so Passport to Paris and
Oh,
in
yeah,
Rome
yeah.
I'm
is
in
like,
It Takes Two, kid.
there you go.
Yeah, I am
Totally.
too. But you did just remind me of
That
the that
sloppy Joe
one
scene.
uh I think there was like it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. That was like the tag on one of their
Iconic.
which is also a great way to describe this movie.
Exactly. They really are.
Hey, what a wrap up.
Thank you guys again. Thank you so much. I can't wait for more people to see Twinless and love it. Thank you.
Sorry, I don't, anyway.
Uh-oh.
Bye.